Hello my fellow misfortunates and welcome to my 10,000 subscribers milestone special video. You asked me a bunch of questions and I'm going to answer them all more or less in depth. And MCTO is asking which is my favorite MF skin. So that's quite an easy question. My favorite is probably Gun Goddess Misfortune, the second skin. So Gun Goddess is like 4 skins in one. But the second one, right? The red suit. I think it's a red suit. Yeah, that's my favorite. And my second favorite is Cowgirl Misfortune. I think she looks very neat. Yeah, Star Guardian is also nice, but also the new one. What was it called? The Bewitching Misfortune? Yeah, that's also a pretty neat one. But apart from those, the other ones are pretty much the same. Mafia Misfortune is also kind of nice, but that would be my tier list for Misfortune skins. So AB has an open question for me. If he remembers correctly, yes, you do remember correctly, I spent some time in Scotland. How was it, and did I eat a deep fried Mars bar? So yes, I did spend time in Scotland. I've been living in Edinburgh and I've been working there from September 2018 until April 2019. And I've been working as a German teacher at Forrester High School, in case you know it, and the cluster primary schools that go with it. It was an interesting time, definitely. 7 months is kind of an awkward time period because it is quite long, so you are going to feel lonely at some point, since you cannot see your friends in Germany, really, or in your home country. I come from Germany, most of you know that. Yeah, you can't really see your friends and spend time with your family. Also, you do get to know some people there. I befriended some international students from France, but both of you know that you probably won't see each other very often as soon as you leave Scotland, and so investing too much time into a friendship, it feels bad. Well, it's kind of nice. We hung out on weekends, but yes, you start to feel lonely after some months, especially during December. There was a big Christmas party at my university that I normally attend every year, and I couldn't this year, and all my friends were hyped in group chats and talking about it, and I was sitting in Scotland, isolated, just waiting for it to be over. It was definitely a valuable experience, especially considering I'm going to be a teacher when I finish university, which already answers a question that will come later. But yes, it was kind of lonely. But it was nice. I had nice colleagues for the most part, and I of course had a nice creative outlet in my YouTube videos. I put a lot of time in my channel in Scotland because there wasn't really much else to do. I needed to plan lessons and stuff, but this doesn't take all day. You need to find something to keep yourself busy, and yeah, YouTube definitely helped me there because I felt like doing something productive, and it was a lot of fun. And yes, I did eat a deep fried Mars bar. However, it's definitely interesting, but it's not really my favorite dish. I really liked the sticky toffee puddings. That was probably my favorite dessert. And I really like haggis. It's actually very tasty. And some people are disgusted because it consists of, well, the intestines and stuff of dead sheep, right? But I mean, it's just a dead animal with some spices. If you eat meat, then eating haggis, which is meat from organs, really shouldn't make a difference to you. Well, that's just my opinion on this. So yeah, how was Scotland? It was overall definitely a valuable experience. At times boring and at times frustrating. And the Scottish school system is atrocious compared to the German school system. They learn so little, especially considering foreign languages. If you compare a Scottish pupil in German class and compare what they know in German to somebody of a similar age in Germany, what they know about English, it's just night and day. They can't speak one sentence, and they get taught German since primary school. Oh well, rant over. I think the question's answered. Let's move on. How farming correctly? Because I miss a lot of minions. Demius channel, I hope I said that correctly. Well, farming and last hitting it's just practice. You need to get the timings down. It gets easier if you use attack, move, click. I use attack, move, click almost exclusively while last hitting and also while fighting. Only while tower diving I don't use it because I want to make sure I actually click the enemy champion with the toggle button for hit enemy champions only. But if you use attack, move, click and practice with it, you shouldn't be missing too much farm. Because even if you click next to the minion by accident, attack, move, click will allow you to get that auto attack off to last hit it. It gets easier when you have the correct rune page with the correct amount of attack speed and attack damage. And also as you buy more attack damage items, it also gets easier. But yes, it's just practice. If you struggle, first of all, fix your key bindings, take attack, move, click on middle mouse button, and attack, move on cursor in your options. And then practice and practice tool, I mean, that's what it's there for. If you practice without items and without runes, then it's difficult, definitely, but it will get easier for you in the actual game where you have your runes and items. But yeah, keep on practicing, dude. You will be getting there. Who do you usually ban, and what's your preferred or favorite support to pair with MF? Is Domzias's question. Also, might I suggest Ignite plus Ghost Lethality support MF gameplay someday? No, please don't. Support MissFortune is iffy enough, and Ignite is a mistake on support MissFortune because you need Barrier or Exhaust, and Ghost is also a mistake because you need Flash. I usually ban Yasuo. It's especially important to ban Yasuo when you play Lethality MissFortune, because his Wind Wall counters your ulti, period. There's nothing you can do about it, it's just gone. And you are highly dependent on your ulti in team fights when you play Lethality MissFortune. I also typically ban Yasuo when I play the regular Essence Reaver MissFortune. But if he's banned already, or if my team wants to play him, then I sometimes ban Zillion because he's quite annoying to deal with in lane. Or I ban Vladimir because MissFortune is not really equipped to deal with him in the mid to late game. Sometimes I ban Set, so the bruiser, not the assassin. But yeah, these are my go-to bans. For the most part, Yasuo. Like 99% of the games I ban Yasuo. Ignozi or Ignozai. Number one, if I want to play the MF Lethality build, what is the best setup? Dark Harvest into Sorcery or Conqueror into Sorcery? Neither of those. The best setup for Lethality MissFortune is Emax MissFortune with Mana Flow Band and Biscuit Delivery. Also with the free boots, so you don't spend gold on boots either. You just max E, you take E level 1 and you max it by level 9. You take Q level 3, Q level 2, W level 3, and then yeah, you max E, then you max Q, then lastly you max W. You buy Duskblade into Ghostblade into Lord Dominic's Regards, and then you just keep on stacking Lethality. That's the best setup, because it has amazing teamfight utility. Even if you're behind, Emax allows you to be highly relevant in teamfight. A 60% AoE slow that guarantees an Arcane Comet hit and has an 8 seconds cooldown is nothing to scoff at, especially in teamfights. So yeah, that's the best setup for Lethality. Dark Harvest is interesting because it's hyper aggressive. You are super squishy and vulnerable with no movement speed because you don't buy boots with this. But you do have the potential to just one-shot anyone. However, you also kind of do have that potential with the Arcane Comet setup, and it's overall just better. But Dark Harvest is sometimes just more fun to me. Conqueror is probably Conqueror into Sorcery with Lethality is a viable pick if you are against a tanky enemy team, because you can run Cut Down with this, and also because you buy Berserker's Greaves with this, which allows you to, in tandem with Conqueror, to win fights against tanks, or even, well, you can deal with tanks rather easily with this setup. So yeah, against tanky teams, Conqueror into Sorcery can be a thing if you like the Lethality Misfortune. But if you really want to win, then you should pick Arcane Comet with Emax against anything non-tanky. And even against tanky teams, it's still nice, because even they cannot face tank your damage all that much. Except for if you are in a full AD team, and they can just stack armor and buy all the armor items, then it's really difficult. But in a full AD team, pretty much any Misfortune build is rather difficult. So yeah, that's about it. Emax, Arcane Comet, premium build, use it. So Matteus Gustafsson is asking, what do you study and how long do you have left in university? Also, what future career do you strive for, apart from hopefully keeping us entertained with great content? So, as I've mentioned earlier in this video, I am going to be a teacher when I'm finished with university. And how long do I have left? Well, I'm in my first master's semester. But currently, it's kind of difficult to estimate because of the coronavirus crisis right now. Germany is pretty much on lockdown. I think it will be official tomorrow, but I'm pretty much self-quarantined right now because, yeah, you need to protect each other. You need to flatten the infection curve. And universities are reacting, the library is closed, and on top of that, the upcoming semester is delayed. Who knows? I'm not sure how that will affect everything in the long run. I think it will take a while until things normalize again. I planned on finishing in 2022, so in 2 years from now. But yeah, that might not be happening because of coronavirus. Anything else here? What do you study? Yeah, my subjects. I'm going to be a teacher for the subjects English and Latin at German Gymnasien, which is essentially, if you, I don't know how it's in the US, but in the UK, if you finish high school when you are like 15 or 16, and then you decide to enter the grades S4 onwards. This would be where you get your Abitur, I would say, the equivalent in Germany. And yeah, for those schools, it's hard to compare if you don't live in Germany, because we have an entirely different school system. But yeah, these are my subjects. Let's move on to the next question. Leotrek. Where is the setting for the attack champions only? I really can't find it. It is the circumflex button. It's above shift, like beneath the escape button. You need to hold that down, then your cursor in-game will change color or get an outline depending on which cursor you use. And then when you right-click, you can only right-click champions to auto-attack. If you right-click anything else, you will just walk there. This is why it's so important to use this while tower diving, because if you click the tower, if they hide behind the model of the tower, you can still click on the champion without actually clicking onto the tower, auto-attacking it. So you hold down the button underneath your escape button on the keyboard, and then your cursor changes color and stuff, and then you can use it. So, how was your day? Yes, as I've mentioned, I'm self-quarantined, and I'm not really going out seeing people all that much. Yeah, so it's pretty boring. I'm mostly working at my university stuff. and well, editing videos, playing League, playing some Legends of Runeterra. I really like this game. It's amazing. As soon as they release Misfortune for Legends of Runeterra, I'm going to make a Misfortune deck and I'm going to make a video for it. So let's move on. Next question. No for the win. No for the win. First, what subjects am I studying? Yeah, Latin and English for becoming a teacher. Secondly, will you announce some streams on Twitch? Thanks. So, despite not going to the library every day, I'm actually quite busy at the moment, but I will start streaming somewhat soon-ish, maybe mid to late April. I will start streaming occasionally. But before that, it will be difficult to find the time because I'm currently, despite being already in the first master's semester, I'm still writing on my bachelor thesis. And yeah, I need to get that finished as soon as possible. And before that, there's probably no time to stream. But I hope I can finish in mid-April. And then I can start streaming a little bit, occasionally. Don't expect too much, because streaming takes a lot of time. With YouTube, you have the luxury of just playing like 3 games back to back, recording all 3 of them, uploading all 3 of them, but releasing them to the public on 3 separate days. So you can take 2 to 3 days off at once because you recorded 3 games on one day. And that's something you cannot do when you want to stream, because streaming is always live, as a matter of fact. So yeah, occasionally I will be doing it, but definitely not on a regular basis. John Haynes, whatever, I don't know where you're from. Have you considered doing MF game reviews with Patreons or subscribers similar to what Saber or LS are doing? It will give us a chance to see what mistakes some of us are making on MF and examples of what things you'd have lower ranked players change. Actually, it's interesting that you ask this question. I have been doing this in the past a lot. Like last year, well, it's probably a while ago. Last year I definitely, also 1 year ago, I did this on a regular basis. I just picked random viewers who commented beneath my videos and left me their OPGGs so I can spectate a game they play. And then I analyzed that game and also gave them tips how to improve, how to climb to the next elo. Interestingly enough, though, people did not enjoy this. The views went down dramatically when I uploaded a video like this. It had like 50% less views compared to my other videos. I did that for a while, and every single one of these analysis videos had significantly less views. And ultimately I decided it's not really worth the hassle if only half as many people are enjoying this. So I stopped doing them, and they are probably not coming back, because it is a lot of work to and very time consuming to go through an entire game of one of you and analyze it. So yeah, probably not going to happen again. I did do it, you did not enjoy it though. Shadowblade 1607. If I'm playing Misfortune, doing fine in lane and back with 1300 gold, should I buy BF or like 2 Doran's Blades, boots and a control ward? It's very tempting to buy BF swords, but if you have 1300 exactly, I would not recommend it. It's too greedy. Going for 2 more Doran's Blades plus whatever you can buy with your gold is typically better. If you have 1750 gold though, you can buy 1 Doran's Blade plus BF sword, that's also fine. But if you base before 1750 gold, then you should always buy 2 Doran's Blades on top of the one you already have, so stack Doran's Blades up to 3. One exception would be a game where it's already certain from Champ Select that you need Executioner's Calling. Then you only buy 1 Doran's Blade because you need the early Executioner's Calling as well, or else you're going to be slot locked. So yeah, that's the back timing with the gold. I hope that helps. Hilash Madazu, name reveal, cause you know, 10k. By the way, congrats. Oh, thank you. My name is not really a secret. I was about to say most people probably know it, which is not true, because some people asked me when the channel was fairly small, so probably not many people know it at this point. But my name is Philipp, which is German for Philip. And yeah, you can call me like this if you want to. Cloudy, how do you balance the university life along with playing League and making videos? It's important to have good time management, definitely. You need a good sleep schedule. Sometimes people assume I sleep too little, which is not true. I follow a very religious sleep schedule. My eyes tend to look a little bit rough because I am allergic to whatever. I haven't gotten myself tested, but I have allergies. And this winter, well, wasn't really a winter because we hadn't had any frost. And so for the whole year, it's just attacking my nose and my eyes. I'm taking medication, so it's kept in check. But it's still very annoying, and sometimes my eyes are itchy, my nose is itchy, and you can definitely see it. So yes, a strict sleep schedule, definitely important, and because else you won't. At least for me, I feel very miserable when I don't sleep enough, and I can't really get anything done on a day like this. So yeah, also have your strict routines. So after I wake up, normally I just have my breakfast. If I don't have early university classes, then I drive to the library, study for a little bit, even if it's just 5 minutes. Even if I literally drive to the library by bus, by the way, so I can listen to some audiobooks on the go, and then work in the library for like 5 minutes and then leave. That's still good, because this reinforces your habits. It's very important to keep healthy habits. So for example, going to the library or going to university every single day, even if you don't have classes at all, it's a super valuable habit, because chances are, if you're already there, you think to yourself, might as well get some work done, right? So you don't have to worry about it. And then you sit there, get something done, you feel good for the rest of the day, and then you go home. And if you do this every single day, even on weekends, then you're never under pressure, because you never need to you never need to cram for exams, and you're never late with any deadlines. It works wonders, trust me. And then you go back home, and then you can play some League, record some videos, upload them, and also spend time with friends and families. It all works if you manage your time correctly. So I hope that answers your question. Tasty Laser Cakes, I like your name. Can you explain the concept that the AD carry has priority over the jungler in terms of farm, or even over other team members? Why is this so, and how can I justify it? Thanks for all you do. The thing is, AD carries scale with items harder than any other role. There are some exceptions to this rule. For example, Jax and Tryndamere, they scale very, very hard with items despite not being AD carries, so I would leave farm for them. But apart from that, getting or clearing clearing Raptors, which is, how much gold is Raptors? I guess a little bit more than 100. Clearing Raptors is 100 gold on you versus 100 gold on any other teammate, and those 100 gold on you will make your team stronger, because if your teammate takes it, then you don't take it, which means they get to buy items instead of you, and if they buy items, they are not gaining as much power compared to you buying items. So this is why AD carries need to take as much farm as possible in the mid game, and this is also why if you're playing jungle, especially if you play tanks, if you play like Nunu jungle, you're not accomplishing much by taking gold and getting tankier. It's way better for team fights and for winning the game to give the gold to the AD carry, or sometimes if he's not around, to the mid laner, so they can get fed and get their items sooner and win team fights for you. This is the entire reasoning. Obviously the exceptions are like hard carrying split pushers like Jax and Tryndamere, also hard scaling mid laners such as Kassadin. They tend, well, even Kassadin, he scales more with experience than with gold. But yeah, if you have like a hard carry, a hyper carry late game champion, then he has priority over you. But apart from that, AD carries should take as much gold as possible. Also, if you're playing support, don't last hit control wards that your AD carry could have last hit. It's just taking away 30 gold from them. Might as well start farming melee minions if you think that's justified. Alright, give me a second. Nicola Miklish, something along those lines. Nicola, if Vayne W has if Vayne W has passive and MFW also has passive, how much does 1 kilogram of cheese cost in the village hidden leaf? That's also an interesting question. It really depends on whether you pay by card or in cash. So there's no clear answer to that, I suppose. Faiz Suhaili, what's your opinion on the current state of AD carry and any tips for climbing? Cheers on reaching 1 or 10,000 subs. AD carries are in a good spot right now. I really enjoy playing AD carry. I feel like I have great impact on the game if I don't make mistakes. That's getting rewarded. The game is in my control to some extent. It's in a good spot. Obviously, you have the occasional game where you don't have impact because your team just decides to completely feed it open and surrender over your head, and you can't do anything about this. But this is true for all roles. It's a team game after all, so if you are complaining about that your team lost you the game and that your role is too weak because you couldn't carry this, then you're essentially saying your role should be able to win despite all your teammates losing their respective matchups, which would not be healthy for the game. If your teammates feed, your enemy is supposed to win this. So this is just how the game goes. It's a team game after all. You cannot solo carry every single game if you are somewhat close to your true elo and not significantly better than every enemy player. So yeah, AD carry is in a good spot. Tips for climbing: just try to play consistently good or consistently well. Don't play when you're tired. Play when you're feeling refreshed and hyped. Also, try to avoid tilt streaks. If you feel tilted, just take a break. It doesn't need to be for long, but just do something else to clear your mind. For example, do the dishes or do some laundry, do some push-ups, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, avoid tilt at all costs. It does make a difference. Yeah. Tips for climbing. Why not start a Discord? It's free and allows us all to hang out and chat. Farabi, you're definitely right. I probably should. On the other hand, I'm not too familiar with Discord, and I would need to learn how to actually do that and set that up and everything. And right now, I just don't really have the time to do that. I'd much rather do other things. But definitely something I could see myself doing in late April when I have time on my fingers. Asco Fly, how often do you play League? That really depends. I play on average 7 games a week because I need to for this channel. So you get your daily uploads. This is definitely helpful for me because it helps me stay fresh and familiar with the current meta. I don't take any longer breaks because, yeah, I need to stick to my schedule, and I also can't like record 14 games at once and then just take a 2 weeks break because patches are a thing. You can't just upload a video from patch 10.5 when patch 10.6 is like 3 days old. It's just not good quality content if you do that. So yeah, at least 7 games a week. Sometimes I play a lot on one day if I have the time, but usually like back in Scotland I've been playing a lot every day because there wasn't much else to do. But nowadays probably 5 games a day is maximum, I would suppose. Normally I don't play more than that. Typically I play 1 game a day. Or if I play more, then I take days off the next day, or I just play for fun with some friends. But yeah, that's about that. As you probably noticed, I haven't played much on my main account yet. I think my Smurf account on my Unranked to Diamond series will be getting to Diamond earlier than my main account will. Even though that my main account has Diamond 2 MMR. But yeah, I just don't really have the time. I think, yeah, also in mid to late April I might be doing more with my main account. Or as soon as my Unranked to Diamond series is completed, then I will start climbing with my main account as high as possible. So yeah, question answered. Shearer Allen. Do you pick runes when you see who are your opponents, or do you decide to use certain runes before the game starts? Many videos didn't get to all 6 items. For example, what would you get for the last video? Okay, I'm not sure what the last video was at this point. Last year, around July, you always picked Tabby. Why did that change? Thank you very much. If I try hard and play to win, I definitely pick runes depending on my opponents. However, it's not as big as you think. It's not like lethality versus crit. If I want to win, I always pick the Summon Eerie rune page with Overheal and the Essence Reaver build. If I notice that if I have a mage bot lane, for example, if I'm playing against Heimerdinger Brand or something like that, then I definitely take the Magic Resist shard instead of the Armor shard, and Nullifying Orb instead of Nimbus Cloak. But that's really the only considerations. Or if the enemy team is like full mage, only with an AD carry, if they have like AP jungler, AP top and mid, AP support, and regular AD carry, then I will take the Armor shard with a Nullifying Orb. But yeah, it's just nuance. It's really nothing major. But yes, I do keep the enemy team composition in mind. The 6th item doesn't matter as much because you probably don't get to 6. You definitely don't get to 6 items in 95% of your games. The most standard full build for crit Misfortune would be Essence Reaver plus Infinity Edge with Bloodthirster and Stormrazor, and then a defensive AD item as a flex pick. So, for example, Morph Mimosas or Guardian Angel, or even the new Death's Dance. Or if you have Healing Reduction, you need Mortar Reminder. Sometimes against very tanky comps, you go for Lord Dominic's Regards. But yes, these are the main culprits in terms of items. Ninja Tabby versus Berserker's Greaves. I stopped picking Ninja Tabby as I stopped using my Vampire Misfortune builds in solo queue tryhard games. Because last year, around December-ish? No, the year before even. This is when the Kleptomancy Misfortune, or as soon as the Kleptomancy buff went live, when it went from 1 trigger per spellcast to 2 triggers per spellcast, this is when I used the Summer build, a Korean challenger solo queue player who invented the Essence Reaver build, essentially. The rune page back then was Kleptomancy, Magical Footwear, Biscuit Delivery, and Cosmic Insight with Bloodline and Overheal. And yeah, the Essence Reaver build, it was still the same. Essence Reaver Infinity Edge. Doran stacking became popular later on. But yeah, since then, this build needs Berserker's Greaves, because it doesn't have incidental attack speed in the form of Blade of the Ruined King, for example. So this is when I stopped using Ninja Tabby in favor of Berserker's Greaves. Who do you usually ban? I think we had that one. Yeah, Yasuo, Zillion, Vladimir, Set. Are German women sexy? Some of them are, some of them are not. I guess it's as with every other country. I hope you enjoyed this. If you still have questions, you can leave them in the comments. I hope you have a nice day, and I also hope to see you in today's upload.